Hi.
What's up?
Hey everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever you may have it to be. This is another Fukei Hangout. Welcome to the show. We've got a very special one today with the transfer ceremony special. So we're going to spend some time talking about the excitement of new members. We'll have a wee look through the show, what happened in there, and hopefully what we can expect to see coming from the guys as well, some of the usual news. So, for those who may not know, I am Doug, or the theGlimmerTwin on most social media. Spend most of my time behind the camera, but I've come out front today to help run the show. So, I'm joined by two of your favourites. If you guys want to say hi.
Oh, I think that means me.
Yeah.
I'm Frankie, Sutea. I go by Sutea on most SG social media accounts. That's it.
Yeah, nice to know. Hi. I'm Konchiniwa. If you don't know me, or if you've never been to the Fukei Hangout or you need Reddit, I'm Konchiniwa. I don't exist on Reddit anymore. I'm kidding, I'm still there. But yeah, I go by Ivana. That's my real name. But yeah, welcome to the Fukei Hangout.
In the background, we've also got Austin, who you may know as Fukei Metal, who's running the show behind the scenes for us this evening. So shout out to Austin as well. So without any further ado, I suppose we'll kick off. So obviously the main news, the big news for this month was the transfer ceremony and the new members that came in. So I think hopefully everyone has watched it by now. We're obviously going to talk through it all, but I actually really enjoyed the show this year. I thought it was really good. What about you
Yeah,
guys?
me too.
Yeah, it was,
And
yeah.
of course, if you haven't watched it, spoilers. Of course,
Indeed.
spoilers
Spoilers,
become
they get new students.
All the spoilers.
all the spoilers. So yeah,
I was really impressed with the performance aspects of the show. I don't know if it was just my perspective, but they seem to be really on form throughout all the songs.
uh, maybe I don't know. I was a little distracted by some of the. I didn't think the singing was that on point. I feel like Aiko was
Yeah,
really nervous
I
and had
figured it
some
might
mess
be on
ups.
this one. I mean, my shout out to my girl Aiko, who never fails to sing, but I felt like some of the singing wasn't on point.
Is there any particular sort of aspects or things? Do you think there's any reasons?
Yeah, like I feel like some parts Aiko like I thought noticeably Aiko had some fails in some of her solos. Um Megu in particular is just not hasn't always been a strong singer.
Yeah, I have to agree
So
with Migu.
that kind of stood out. I actually think the best performance by a senior that day was Momoko.
Yeah, I'd agree with that as well. I thought she stood out for me. The singing itself wasn't necessarily amazing, but I felt she was really solid throughout compared to um, Aiko and Megu. Megu, I don't know, she sounded really flat for some reason the whole show. I thought she was still quite good though, but yeah, it just seemed to be lacking a little something. She sounded very similar to Marine as well, um, who had a sort of an odd tone. But one of the things I quite liked is even although some of them might be a bit off, they seem to all be at a similar. They seem to be quite together, in terms of how they sounded. Sometimes they seem to, or certainly in other performances, they there's a big difference between some of the older ones and the younger ones. But I thought that they were quite level for all of these performances, which for me made it seem quite together.
Yeah, like some people mentioned, I forgot to mention this, but a Frosty Guitarist said that Aiko missed most of her first line in I believe it was the first song, School Days, I believe. Uh, which that was a big standout, and a
I
lot of
think
people.
I think she even mentioned it at one point.
Oh yeah, she mentioned it earlier. I think when she was spoiler getting her position.
No, yeah, that part.
Getting her position.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah, and she mentioned how she was nervous because she messed up her first line. And then Shotep said a lot of people mentioned they looked rather uneasy during the whole show. Yeah, I feel like they're just really stepping up. Like as seniors, they probably felt like really nervous and uneasy.
Hmm.
Then again,
But there were
in recent years, I haven't really been focused
on Okay, I guess focused on nothing.
Yeah.
But there are some good parts to the show too, like Doug said. Like I'm not much of a dance analyzer, but I felt like their dance was fine. Oh.
Yeah, the thing that stood out for me was they seemed to be very in sync. So I don't know if it's maybe that I've not seen as many of the live stuff recently, and that's why, as I say, to me it seemed quite good. Although now you've pointed out, I can see the sort of the nervous aspect to some of the other ones because Aiko did. I remember watching it going. I remember everyone going on about how good of a singer Aiko is, and that wasn't coming across as well. But yeah, I thought the dancing was quite put together, and as I say, in sync, because that's something that I tend to notice sometimes. Which is obviously when you've got sort of 10, 12 people, it's quite hard to keep yourself all in sync together with one another. But they seemed quite well.
Especially at around this time of the year when you're learning two different formations
Yeah.
for songs, because you have new people coming in, and you're assigned, for some of them they're assigned new roles, and they also have to learn a different position for the 10-man songs. I believe they did 3 10-man 3 10-man songs. Was it 3? I believe it was 3. Wait. Uh 3 or 6, something like that. 3 or 6 10-man songs. Might have been more.
Well, before they brought the new ones in.
Yes, before they brought new ones, so they had to learn completely
so
different
8.
formations from what they've known so far.
They would have had, if my notes are correct, then there would have been 8. So I think there was 8. Oh no, sorry, 7. 7 songs before the new guys came in.
Yeah.
School Days, Very Shuvi, and then Chime was the first block, and then they did Hello Ivy, Song for Smiling, Animal Rhythm, the second block. Then they did Kimi no Todoke, which I believe that was the last of the 10-man, because the next song was Piece the Check, so it was just the two of them. And then after that, they had the new ones in.
So speaking of the set list, how do you guys feel about it?
I'm surprised they actually performed Animal Rhythm.
Yeah,
performed in such a
I was surprised at that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like everybody was like it. It hasn't been performed since the beginning of the 2014 Nendo. Well, I guess like first half of 2014 Nendo.
Like that song was just ignored since it's released.
Yeah, and I'm surprised they didn't even perform it any time during the last few years, because they're bringing back so many songs, especially during 2015 when at least I believe it was Shirai's influence that got them to do a lot of old songs. And in 2016 when they brought back some random songs here and there, I'm surprised they didn't bring back Animal Rhythm, like for graduation or something. But I think I turned out really well, and just set list in general, I think the set list is awesome. With Animal Rhythm, Kimi ni Todoke, which is one of my favorites. If you haven't seen our top 5 songs, it's one of those songs. And although the top 5 songs is like a collaboration of ideas, I put in my vote for Kimi ni Todoke, so that's why I believe to be one of the best songs. So you can watch that video if you haven't. Click on our YouTube channel, you can find it there. Any other songs you guys want to comment about?
I like the fact that they did Song for Smiling. I love when they
Mm.
perform it. They've brought it back ever since Marin joined, I think.
Mm.
So they're really utilizing her English, and I think it's really cool.
I don't like it though. I don't like the new version,
Shut
like
up, Frankie.
in the album where they give her most of the English parts. I felt like it was really unnecessary.
I don't know,
You try
I'm
and
kind of
do
with
the English parts then, Frankie. God.
I'm sure I can do the English parts.
I'm kind of with Ivana on that. I mean, I quite like the new one. There is a slight. I mean, I really like the song as a live performance because it has one of my favorite choreographies as well. I like the bit when they do the kind of, they're in two groups and they do the wee bounce. They kind of put their legs up and meet their
Oh
leg to their
yeah.
hand. The wee bounce. I really like that move. I think it's really fun. And the song itself. And I quite like that they've given that thing to Marine to kind of run with. The only thing I don't like about it is that it creates a slight a slight disparity when you go from one person singing and then immediately to sort of 10, 12 people singing. It kind of is a bit of a jump, especially when
Yeah.
it's then compared to the second verse when you've got them all doing it because there's less English. So there is a
Right.
wee bit of a jump there. However, I do think they can fix that, but I'll come to that later because it involves some of our new people.
But I feel like because it is a remake, like, and there's another version to compare it to. In the old version, we have everybody singing the English lines, whereas in the remake, you have one person singing English lines. So you say, but you would argue that it's a remake. It should be different from the beginning, from the first one. But as we learn from movies, remakes aren't always better. You should stick to some of the old ideals, like one of the arguably better remake movies has done in Star Wars, where it took a lot of the older ideals and incorporated into the new one, and which a lot of people liked. I wouldn't say, of course, not everybody liked, but a lot of people liked. So I thought they should have stuck with the everybody singing English. Maybe give her like one or two English solo lines to like make it stand out. But I definitely don't think she should have gotten that much of the solo lines.
It's interesting.
So,
I
like,
think that
yeah, in conclusion, Frankie hates Marin.
No. Well, no. Okay, but you guys can vote in the chat if you prefer everybody English or just Martin English. And for Scum Fuck,
Wow.
I was just saying his name.
Contain your language.
The
Frankie.
set list was School Days, Very Shitty, Chime, some Huddle Ivy, Song for Smiling, Animal Rhythm, some NC again, Kimi ni Todake, some MC again, Pista Check, and then
Friends.
some other stuff.
Oh, they did the transfer and then they did Friends and then you made me cut it.
yeah.
That was the list. Another song, of course, we kind of talked about this a little bit already, but Animal Rhythm was really good. That was actually my first time seeing the choreography for Animal Rhythm, except for like the little small part in the MV you see. But other than that, it was my first time seeing the choreography, and I really liked it. And it was great because, from what I can tell, most of the songs that they performed in the transference ceremony had live singing, from what I can tell.
Yeah.
Most of the
Oh
songs.
yeah. Oh,
had
you can definitely tell.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can,
I think
you can tell.
there's definitely singing in all I think pretty much all of them, bar one.
except one noticeable one.
Yeah, there's one
You
that's
can tell.
it's just so far away
You
from
can
live
tell.
singing.
Ugh,
But
yeah, it's kind of like if you watch well, if you went to Japan and saw the graduation. I can't say if you watched the recent graduation because it's not out yet. Wait, is it out yet? Am I being dumb right now? It's not out yet, right?
No, it happened 2 months ago, Frankie.
Okay, yeah, I'm not being dumb. Yeah, it hasn't happened, so you can't see it yet. So, but if you did go and see it, a lot of it was live singing, and then you got to Heart No Hoshi, and it was the same feeling. It was the same feeling as when they got the pizza check. When they got to Heart No Hoshi in the graduation, it was like, oh, oh. Yeah. Besides that, the rest of the set list was pretty standard. I was a little sad to see that there wasn't a new Piece to Check song, but maybe that would never happen. Maybe. Are you guys hoping for a new Piece to Check song?
I hope for new songs in general.
Yeah.
for all.
The year just started, Frankie. They're not just gonna hit us with a new song.
Maybe they hit it with Six Transference 2 years ago.
Yeah, but that's not a song.
Oh right. But besides songs though, but yeah, I don't think. You're right though. They're probably not gonna hit with a song until like maybe TIF or the festival, which is when they usually do it, right? Right?
Mm.
Yeah. But besides song, the MCs are pretty interesting. Like for the Animal Rhythm, they after Animal Rhythm, they had you guess some of the poses they did. Like for example, Sugu started off with a bird-like pose, which I feel like most of us thought it was a flamingo, and someone in the crowd even shouted out Sugu Mingo, which I thought was pretty cute.
Sugumingo.
Yeah, but it
What was it
wasn't.
actually?
It was a swan. It was a swan. And then Kano had a cheetah, and Marin had something no one could guess, which is a capybara. Which, if you don't know what capybara is, I think it's just imagine like a really large rodent.
How
I actually
are
think
you supposed to guess a capybara?
I don't
They've
know. She wasn't
actually
even doing
They've actually
Not
done it
even
before. I think it was. I
Oga.
think it was Olga. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
think she actually even mentioned Oga after she did that. But it was really hard to tell because if you didn't have the recent memory of Olga doing it in mind, she did like an ear
yeah,
thing, which is really hard to guess because I could have been for like any animal, and the capybara doesn't have really any significant standout poses that you would do.
it's most significant. The most significant feature of capybara is the fact that they're mentioned in Animal Rhythm. That's their most biggest claim to fame.
True, true.
I can only imagine if you were there live, though, it must have been really difficult to see as well because she's like completely on the ground pretty much.
Oh, definitely. And Showtech mentioned a little bit about Kawaibu keeping the same members for the next 3 years, so they'll be kind of forced to have new songs. I don't necessarily think so. One
You
thing I
obviously
forgot,
don't know your Muse very well.
and one thing I forgot to mention is that that in this version of Kawaibu, in the transference moment, they're actually using Kansai Ben, I believe, which is like a dialect or accent. So they could just do a Kansai Ben version for the album remake if they really wanted to and call that a different version because it technically is different.
That does sound like something they would do.
Yeah.
So, I
Let's
mean, I
see.
don't understand why they just don't do some new things. Because I mean, the new album obviously has all the band versions
They're
of
busy with the play, man.
songs,
Come on.
and they're basically the same thing. It's kind of funny actually because I was listening. I've sat and listened to the old new versions quite a bit, and a lot of them, the ones that are called band versions, I think sound less. Like if I was going to apply the phrase band version to one of them, I would more apply it to the original versions than the newer ones.
Yeah. I actually, like we were talking a little bit about the album remake. The only band version I really, really liked that we got earlier, and we got it earlier too, was which is what I meant to say
Tomegokuro?
was Ultimate Gokuro, which I really liked, and I still would play it. I play that the most out of the band versions when I'm like listening to songs. Yeah. Let's see.
So
So apart from
What about like MC stuff?
MC stuff, they also had other MC stuff. Anything you want to mention, Doug?
Well, I thought overall the MCs were pretty good. They seemed quite, in comparison to, like I said, there's maybe a bit of a nervous feel to some of the performances of the songs, but they seemed to be quite, certainly in the first half when it was mostly just performance before we got to the introduction of the new guys. They seemed to be having a lot of fun and quite relaxed. There was a lot of what I would characterize as banter between them, with the little skits and stuff. They had a few little sections.
Did her little telepathy thing again, and so
Oh, right.
joined in this time.
Yeah, they decided to add on to the telepathy thing, but including Soyo into the what do you call it? A skit, a gag, one of those. Yeah, they decided to include Soyo and make it the psychopath pair or telepathy pair, psychic pair, whatever you want to call them. Which
Trouble.
could be interesting for Trouble, like Team Rocket, Trouble. Speaking of Trouble, they also had another pair do their little gag, which is always a favorite of mine, at least, which is Sugumi Izumi pair. Although I felt like this one was a bit lacking to the usual performances, but I still thought it was pretty good.
They had lots of little pairings that seemed to run through, which I thought was quite good. Sort of tranked up against, like you said, they had Yuzu and Sugu, they did one, Marine, Soyo, Megu and Momoe had a wee moment as well.
Right. When they were, because they were talking about what kind of new people they wanted to see, and Megu said she didn't want any more Buriko characters because apparently 2 is enough. And then Momoe counteracted by saying, "I accept any kind of student, and I would treat them with like the utmost care," or something like that.
Yeah.
Which the audience took pretty humorously because they all gave out a pretty good laugh.
Yeah. So there seemed to be a good reaction to, as I say, most of them. And when Kobaibu were doing their little bit of MC, audience seemed to be loving that.
Yeah, and I believe it was I think for transference ceremonies they actually have a smaller size audience than most of their performances, which you could argue contributes to the better atmosphere. If we're talking about psychological things.
Yeah, it definitely seemed to be a slightly smaller audience. Like I say, I think that's quite good as well. That it allows them to, I think, interact a little bit more with them, and I imagine it's probably useful for the new ones in terms of nerves and stuff as well.
Right, and before we move on or talk a little bit more, I want to mention the pictures on the screen that are passing by right now, or that were passing by, of the new pictures, the new profile pictures. And I want to give a shout out to the Reddit. If you haven't seen the subreddit, we updated, or they updated, the new header and side image banner thing. It looks really nice, and it stands out a lot in my eyes.
It looks nice. I really like it.
Yeah, it just really stands out for some reason compared to the other one. At least I think it does.
I hadn't actually seen those before. I'm just looking.
Yeah,
Give it a look.
I
Right now.
updated it like.
It must have only changed recently. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so we've got the
Missing
wee
Real, what happened
squares.
with that? When did that happen?
Yeah, I think it was the last few hours, but we'll have Missing Real give us the actual answer instead of just shade faces. Oh, see, some of you haven't seen it either. So there you go. You're welcome, Missing Real.
All right, I see the wee. I don't know what would it be called. The picture on the right hand side. It's got everybody in it now. You just had the 3. Cool. Interesting point. I want to know if anyone else has noticed this actually. The photo that's in the banner, you can't see it in that photo, but where that photo comes from, I've noticed in group shots like that, and if you go to the the SG homepage where you get they're all like lined up in front of the blackboard photo. If you look at those photos, they're usually all just standing there and doing what their wee pose, whatever. But Megu, for some reason, always has one leg lifted, and I don't know why I've noticed this, but I now can't not see it, and it's the same last year as well with those photos. She's always got one leg like half sort of folded right up. It's bizarre. I don't know. Has anyone else noticed that? Is that just me?
I actually
Yeah.
haven't. Well, maybe someone in chat has.
It's her little habit that she does.
Yeah.
Megan has a lot of habits, actually. Not a bad thing, but it's nice to know
Messenger
some of
is
them.
looking for suggestions. He's saying, "Oh, he's had
Oh,
a
no,
thread
he
going
was.
for a week."
It's over.
He was looking for
Was
just
looking.
for banners. They had a thread going for
They
the.
updated the banner this morning, so there's it. There you go.
But yeah, other than that, the banner image looks great. Congrats, mod team. Keep doing your thing. Anything else you guys want to mention about MCs and songs before we kind of move on to the main highlight of the show?
I think that's it for me, at least. Doug?
Yeah, it's pretty much the main things, I think.
All right, let's
So-
get on to the next part.
The big news, obviously we had 2 new members joining the group. So we made, or the hosts made predictions on this in the last episode of the Fukei Hangout when we were talking about the graduation ceremony. So just to have I thought we'd have a wee recap of how everyone got on. Frankie, do you remember what your predictions or hopes were? What you said?
Yeah,
last time?
I said I think a Child Smiles person was gonna enter, and I said if I had to choose one, it would be Lillian. And I think I said I predicted 2 5th graders because I thought that would be best for the group. So 2 5th graders and 1 from Child Smiles, and I had to choose Lillian.
So you mean you were almost bang on with that? To be fair, we did get a Child Smiles and a 5th grader in there, just not the one you'd hoped for. Although I'm sure you'll grow to love the one that we got nonetheless. Austin, our tech team, he thought we were going to get Child Smiles as well, and was just interested in new faces, whoever they were. And Gabe thought we were going to get a 5th grader and a 6th grader. And then Ivana, do you remember your prediction?
Okay, so initially, I was thinking 2 5th graders, and I told you guys this on last episode, but you guys, like the whole last episode, just like, I don't think so. So I'm like, okay, fine. 1 6th grader, 1 5th grader. And it turned out to be 2 5th graders. So you guys
They were wrong to
were
doubt you.
wrong. I was right.
Yeah. And I was even wrong on my Child Smiles prediction. I actually thought I don't know. I forgot what I thought, but I think I thought Miku was the least possible choice to enter. I think. Actually, no, I forget what I thought. Maybe I thought Miku was second most because she was the winner of the child editions, and we tend to get a lot of the winners. I think.
Yeah. But anyway.
Why no 6th graders? I don't know. Ask Amuse.
Anyway, let's introduce the transfer-ins. So, first, I think, did they introduce her first?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, first off, we have Miku, Tanaka Miku, who is, wow, she's 10 years old. 10. She's from the Oita Prefecture in Japan, clearly. Her favorite food, hamburg steak and fruits. She's 150 centimeters tall, which is actually, fun fact, 5 centimeters shorter than me. So I'm 19 years old, and she's about to be, like, she's gonna surpass my height. And she's not even the tallest in Sakura. Anyway, she likes to spend her day by playing with friends, relaxing at home. She compares herself to a dog. One dream she has is she wants to stop time. She likes peaches. Who doesn't? Yeah, she was the winner of the 2016 Child Girls Grand Prix. And on stage, she said, "I wasn't nervous backstage, and I'm not nervous now. I've never done singing and dancing, but she will do her best."
Yeah. In turn, going over a little of the stuff, and this is just what's on her SG profile page, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is just what's going on her SG profile page. Going over some of the stuff, her height, she's actually really tall, or pretty tall for an SG member. Like if you watch the transfer-in ceremony, next to the second transfer-in, she was like a titan compared to
Yeah.
the second transfer-in. Like, dang, she was tall. so she does have like a possibility of overgrowing Ivana and the other SG members by the time she graduates.
Oh, it's not hard to overtake me. I'm only 155 centimeters.
I know, but still. That face on metric, but you're American. Yeah, I'm American too, man. It's fine.
Well, this is the Asian height, so I expect nothing less. Also, fun fact: Oita Prefecture is towards South Japan near Kumamoto, which, if you know Shima Yuika, that's where she is originally from. So it's further south of Japan.
Oh, I thought when you said Shima Yuka, you said it like really fast with no space. So I thought that was another place, and I was like, I don't know where that place is. Why are you telling me that? But then I noticed that it was actually Yuika. I was like, oh, okay. Respect. And let's see. Some highlights was you all mentioned that an animal she compares herself to is a dog, and there's actually a little skit when they were introducing her saying that she really loved her dog, and Kano did this thing where she like kind of plead to have her dog. It's like, please give me your dog, give me your dog, give me your dog, and it was kind of amusing. She didn't give away her dog because she would never give it away. Yeah, I would love to go to Shima Yuka too.
Well, Shima does mean island.
Oh, let's go to Eureka Island then.
Americans in the chat. In comparison, I'm 5'1". Miku is probably 5 foot. So there you go.
Yo, that's pretty tall for a kid. 5 foot. I like how I'm like even more surprised once I know the American size. Yeah, 5 foot. That's pretty good for a kid.
Yeah, I'm 5'1". So
That's pretty bad for for almost adult. Yeah, but you guys have anything else to say about Miku so far?
I can't believe a Vocaloid has joined Sakura. I never thought it would come to this.
Aside from the memes, one last thing I wanted to say is there's a quote from her saying, "I wasn't nervous backstage, and I'm not nervous now. I've never done singing, dancing, but I will do my best." About the first part, although she said she wasn't nervous, she was
definitely
really
nervous.
She was, like you can just tell she was super nervous.
Yeah.
And it was apparent too. I just thought that was really kind of funny how you'll see next how the personalities kind of clash a little bit. She's a tall person saying that she's not nervous, but she actually was nervous compared to the other person, which we'll describe now.
Yeah, so she came out first and was followed out by a tiny ball of energy called Miki Yagi, who is our second transfer in, and as Frankie sort of hinted at there, in many ways was a sort of an opposite to Miku. She's quite small, and she seemed quite calm, quite confident to a point. Anyway, I think you could tell she was nervous as well, but she came through a bit clearer. Clearer than Miku. So to let you know a little bit about her, she's also 10 years old and is from the Osaka prefecture. She's 137.5 centimeters apparently. She likes to play the piano, and her favorite color is lilac. She likes playing dodgeball. She spends her days off doing homework, so she's obviously a studious individual, which ties into one of her other skills, which they demonstrated during her intro, as she's another member who's quite good with English, and she ended up having a wee fun back and forth with Marine, where having a blank moment there when Mori Sensei, there we go, when Mori Sensei asked, sitting there going, I know this person, you've mentioned his name a million times. Mori Sensei asked Marine to ask her a question, so Marine asked her what she would do if she was attacked by aliens while she was sleeping, to which she quite cutely said that she would hide under the desk. Her English seemed really good as well, but is also impressive given how young she is. So I'll be quite interested to see if they make use of that, which is what I was hinting at earlier on when we were talking about Song for Smiling, as the wee discrepancy, if you like, between Marine singing on her own and everyone else. They could maybe boost that by having her join in with Marine on the English lines, which might help with that a little bit. But it'd be really good if we got a little bit more out of the two of them, English-wise. I think we've all kind of been hoping to get a little bit more out of Marine since she displayed her skills, but we've not had a huge amount from it. But who knows? Maybe that will change. But anyway, what else have we got here? So her favourite dish in her lunchbox is tamagoyaki. She likes it a non-sweet version. She also likes eating strawberries, which is one of the questions she was asked during the show. And she was asked, our profile also has something that's one thing that is non-negotiable, or one thing you must have, and she said neat tooth alignment. So don't introduce her to Sue. Yeah, and again, the opposite to Miku, one of her quotes that she said was that she felt she was so nervous that she might die. But as I say, she seemed much, although you could tell she was nervous, but she seemed much sort of more immediately outgoing and answered things a bit quicker and things than Miku did. So she didn't seem quite as nervous. So if anything, their quotes could have been reversed. And we also got a bit of a kendama battle between her and Maya. That's obviously one of Maya's specialties, as they mentioned during the show as well. That's obviously part of her intro now in Mezase Super Lady. So they had a wee kendama battle, which Miki was adjudged to have won as well. There's a wee bit of an odd moment with that one because she sort of did her trick and everyone just seemed to stop for a second as if kind of frozen before eventually everyone was like, all right, yeah, okay, and get a round of applause and everything else. But yeah, so that was Miki's intro. What did you guys think?
I actually had a lot to say about Miki's. Like someone mentioned in chat, what's the color, lilac? I was also like, what, lilac? But it is basically light
Lilac.
purple. Lilac. Sorry,
yeah.
lilac. Oh, sorry, lilac. It's basically the color of lilac, which is like it's basically the color of the flower lilac, which is purplish. Parrot game dodgeball. That was surprising. That's surprising. Also, about these
fun. Why is it surprising?
Yeah, it's fun, but she's like the smallest girl like ever.
Okay.
So
yes.
I thought it was surprising.
Maybe it's easy for her to escape. That's why.
To dodge,
Maybe.
yeah.
And also, maybe I should mention this. So maybe I feel like a lot of us would know what these Japanese foods are, but maybe you guys don't know what certain Japanese foods are. Tamagoyaki, which literally just means like fried or grilled egg. It's like a roll-up egg omelet thing in Japan that they quite often eat. It's like the thing you see on sushi sometimes, the yellow egg thing on top of rice. That's technically tamagoyaki, but except it's chilled. And usually it's sweet, but apparently she likes it non-sweet. And back to Miku's favorite food, which is hamburg steak. It's literally a hamburger patty, and then it's
served
like
as a steak.
yeah, served as a steak. It's just literally a hamburger patty with like some gravy on top, usually served over rice, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's your intro to Japanese food if you don't know what some of these dishes are.
Japanese Food 101, brought to you by the Fukei Hangout.
I also want to mention that Miki has braces.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She does indeed.
And yeah, like I kind of mentioned to earlier, and Doug finished. She's like the total opposite of Miku. She's short, but to our eyes, or at least my eyes, she seemed really confident. Although she said, "I'm nervous enough to die," she seemed really confident, challenging her seniors in multiple ways, such as Marin English, Maya and Kendama, and about the dual thing with Marin. That'd be really interesting to see how. Imagine another revised version of Song for Smiling in the next album would include those two.
That's the only difference. They just do that around.
That's the only
That
difference.
would be enough for Amuse. I'm sure they'd probably call it the English version and then just
Yeah, the English version. Although to note, her English is less foreign. It does have more of a Japanese accent, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So it's not what some people would deem as impressive. Or at least I would deem as impressive because you're using a Japanese accent. And the thing about Maya's English, which made her impressive, in my opinion, was that she used a very American accent, which
She's
stood
got
out.
a very specific pronunciation, Manny. And I'm like so interested to know, and we'll probably never find out, where her English comes from originally, because
I think
it's very particularly pronounced.
we won't go too far into this, but one of the reasons why I think a lot of people why I think that a lot of people think that Mari is really good at English is because of the accent. Like I personally don't think that Mari is really good at English, but I think the accent makes her seem like it. And we're not going to go into this. We're not going to go more into this.
Frankie,
So
we've
I'll
already
stop right
confirmed
here.
that you hate Marin, so your opinions are valid on this.
Yeah, confirmed that I hate Marin. Confirmed that I hate Baby Milk. Yeah, okay.
Confirm that you hate all hair.
I actually thought that Miki's pronunciation was pretty good as well.
Oh yeah, I thought that was pretty good. It just
she definitely, like you say, she's definitely got more of the Japanese pronunciation to it, but it was very clear, which I thought was pretty good. And some of the harder sort of end sounds that you often find kind of round off when spoken in a Japanese accent were clearer with her as well.
Yeah.
Frankie, can I ask you a question?
What?
How can Marin be good at an accent if she's not good at the language?
It's just a manipulation of voice. I feel like I can do some accents pretty well, even though I'm not good at the language. You can be good at doing a certain kind of voice, even if you're not good at the language. Voice has nothing to do with how well you are at a certain language. It's just how well you can manipulate your voice to the certain standards of that particular sounding language or character voice. And actors do it all the time. They do certain character voices.
Okay.
Oh, okay. But back to my original point before I got into this whole tangent was that you mentioned the dual thing with Marin and Miki with the English, but I think another good dual thing they can incorporate into Misasa Super Lady is the kendama battle, where since they both do kendama pretty well or are able to do simple tricks, they can incorporate maybe a kendama battle into Misasa Super Lady near the end of the song. I think that'd be pretty interesting.
That could be fun.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see. So I think the only thing I would maybe add to that, like, and this is perhaps what led to that sort of random pause, because Miki didn't actually do any tricks per se. Like, For
Okay.
anyone that didn't see, like Maya she sort of flipped it up onto one of the wee side cups, flipped that around, and then spun the ball in a sort of a circle, and then
So
just sort of missed the last bit. But Miki just did the classic spin the ball and get it to land on the spike in the hole bit, which is the sort of the standard trick. So it'd be interesting to see what else she can do with that.
I have a little point against that, although I'm not a kendama expert or nowhere near to one. Yeah, Maya's trick was way more flashy because it did the spin and then the swing into the catch, which she failed. I felt like Miki's trick wasn't super basic. She actually spun the ball, which if you don't know how kendama works, the ball has a certain place where the hole is. So by spinning it and then throwing it, I feel like it makes it harder to land into the stick. So I felt like it did have some degree of difficulty. It just wasn't as flashy.
It's actually the other way around. It's the spinning it that makes it easier to get it into the hole. That's the trick. If you don't spin it, it's virtually impossible. It's the way that the physics works. Because when you with the hole in the ball, if you just have the ball and you just throw it up, then the ball will twist and turn around, and basically you've got zero control over where that hole is. Whereas if you spin it, because you create I'll get my physics terms wrong here probably, but I think it's sort of the centrifugal force of the spin. It means that it spins around the axis of that hole, and therefore when you do the upward motion, the axis stays still and keeps that upwards, and therefore you can get it to land on your wee spike.
I've just been debunked. I've just been called wrong. But I do have a second reason to try to keep my side afloat. Oh yeah, that was a little physics lessons for those of you who wanted a lesson.
It's an educational show as well as an entertainment show.
This is a very educational show. I have a second reason.
Out.
Oh well, okay. Good luck in your next physics exam then.
Well,
but my second reason is.
Anyway.
Wait, what did you say?
Well, just
go on, Frankie.
Oh, okay. My second reason was because Maya failed, she didn't need to do a really outstanding trick that she might have missed. So she just did the really simple trick.
I think she called it I'm not sure if she meant the specific trick or if she was just talking about kendama in general, but she did call it Maya's specialty just before. So as I said, I'm not 100% if she was just talking about kendama or if it was about that particular trick. But
oh yeah,
it was fun though. I'd like to see them do it again.
Yeah, definitely.
I really like the idea of the battle in Mizase actually. What they should do is have those two battling and then have Miki and Marion doing color commentary in English over the top. There we go. Combine it all into a mega thing.
Oh, that. Damn, the evolution of Misasa Super Lady.
Hashtag things that will never happen.
Yep. But yeah, the new members are really, really interesting. I like them right now. I like them.
Yeah, I'm quite excited to see her. I'm intrigued by Miku because I feel as if we didn't see everything that she'll have to offer. Because like as we've said, she seemed very shy, or nervous. Whereas Miki, while still nervous, she was very smiley, interacted a lot. As you say, she's sort of challenging our seniors and everything else. So I feel as if a lot of people probably will have taken to her quite quickly. So I think she'll probably have a lot of fans early doors. But yeah, I'm really excited to see. In fact, Ivana, did you not do a Twitter poll
on what?
On who people were liking?
Oh yeah, vote now on your phone. It's over. But yeah, if you're Team Miku or Team Miki.
We can actually do it right now on the post on the house show right now. But before
yeah.
that, I want to know who won the poll on your Twitter thing.
Team Miki by a lot.
Oh, okay. That's kind of what I expected.
Yeah, I think as I say, I think a lot of people will have taken to her based on her
I'll read you the result right now. Just let me find it. Just give me a second. Okay, out of 24 votes, 71% to Miki.
Dang, 71%. So that's like, let's see, 24, 12, 18, 17 votes, I think, like 17. I think that's like it's like 17 out of 24.
Sounds around.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was watching it live, and most people that I was talking with seemed to really like Miki more. But I'm actually more of a Team Miku right now. I don't know. She's won my heart more than Miki.
I have to add in, mildly off topic, but the chat are starting to post their team ones, and Missing Reel. I have to put a shout out to that, because Missing Reel is, I'm team where the fuck is the logo of replacement.
Amused response.
Yeah, I think we can all
Miki.
get behind that team. But yeah, it seems fairly balanced in the chat though. A couple of Miku mentioned as well. We've got one. I'm team bring back Oga.
Bring back every graduate, right? Oh yeah, I forgot to do this thing. Oh, okay. Let's
talk
say
about
who. Oh, we still need to see who you guys are in favor of. And then one more thing about transference. Who do you guys like? I say I like Miku. She just attracts me, like she speaks closer to my heart than Miki does.
Of course you like.
What about
you're anti-modern.
what was that even?
That has no correlation, but you're anti-modern.
Well, no, there's a link. He's obviously anti-English.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, no. No.
There's no
Oh,
limit.
are you okay? Obviously, mine is Team Miki. What
I
about
actually
you?
I had a very tough time choosing when watching the
Oh,
show.
really?
Yeah. But for now, I'm gonna have to go with Miki because she's so small and cute, and shorter than me by a lot.
Interesting. So
Vanna
you like
doesn't like
shorter
members
people?
that are taller than her.
Same. Okay, Doug. Okay, you make the stream a Miki preferred stream or Miku preferred stream? Although I think I know the answer.
Drum roll. Well, I mean, they've both got good qualities. As I say, I'm very intrigued by Miku because I feel as if I didn't get to see, as I say, everything coming from her. So I'm quite interested to see her. She reminded me a lot. She reminded me a lot of Renon actually, because she's got that kind of a wide, narrow smile and these ginormous Sue-like ears. But yeah, as it stands, I have to declare myself Team Miki. As I say, she just had echoing of what Ivana said. She's kind of small and adorable, and she has a really nice smile, and she seemed just really fun on the show. She had that kind of 80s side ponytail going on as well, which was fun. So yeah, I'm gonna have to declare Team Miki for now, but intrigued to see more from Miku.
So there you have it, guys. I can't say I didn't expect that, but we're a Miki preferred stream as for now. But you mentioned something that I want to get to. You said she had a certain hairstyle, and I need to comment on.
Frankie, you best hurry about this.
Okay, I know I best hurry. But Miku's hair, I thought was really nice. It's actually my favorite hair I've seen from her so far. I didn't really like the braid thing on her. I think it was okay, but maybe the makeup made me not like it. I don't know. I think something about the makeup was like off for me. I don't like darker makeup. I think she was wearing darker makeup in her pictures, so maybe not really like the hairstyle that much. But I thought this hairstyle that she had with the back tie thing, kind of and the rest of the hair springing out, was my favorite so far. Miki's was interesting. It was like a ponytail to the side, and then during this stream, it looked really straight. So it looked like the side, like fin of a fish to me. I thought that was interesting.
What is she, Nemo now? Like...
No, her fin was big. Nemo's fin is small.
Finding Miki.
Finding Miki.
Yeah, where is she? She's so small.
In all good
Finding
cinemas.
Nemo, Finding Dory, Finding Miki.
Yeah.
Okay, that's enough from me.
Okay, that's enough for the transcripts.
Moving on. Yeah, the other big news from the ceremony.
So, as you might know from my Twitter or just me in general, I am an Aiko enthusiast, and this
What?
I
year
am too.
is Aiko's presidency. All hail Aiko.
Eh.
What do you mean? You're officially fired.
I'm just
Doug is
balancing out
being
the
dropped
Aiko
from the
love.
stream right now. No, I'm kidding.
No, I have nothing against Aiko. I have no strong feelings either way, to be honest, about Aiko. I don't know why. I've never hugely liked nor disliked her.
Why
She's
does
just
no one
kind of.
like Aiko? The reason
I
I
like
decided
Aiko.
to like Aiko was because no one else would. Because
I liked her before you liked her.
Y'all are crazy.
What do you mean that no one liked? I liked Aiko.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, but you don't like Marin, so that balances it out.
This what? Okay, whatever. Okay, anyway, Aiko got president. Okay, no big surprises here.
No surprise there.
But the other
It-
positions.
Anyone
was
who thought
quite
Megu
cute,
was going
though.
to get president, you can fight me.
I did think it was quite cute when they did Aiko's announcement, though. She seemed quite excited about it all.
Yeah, she
I thought that was
She
quite
kind of
cute.
gave out a. Yeah, go ahead.
And having said what I said a second ago, I would add I've quite enjoyed Aiko's sort of arc as she's gotten older. I feel that she's developed quite well. Similar to Olga for me in many ways. She was kind of like small and shy, but a bundle of energy. And then has kind of tempered that energy to become more focused as she's gotten older. I think. I'm quite excited. I am excited to see how the year goes with President Aiko. So.
Yeah, Aiko has had some interesting character developments over the years, especially the last 2, maybe even 3 years. And as response to Gamer Time 1226, he said, "No way, Aiko was actually surprised she was president, right?" I don't think it was more of a surprise. I think it was more of a nervous relief
Yeah,
kind of
I think
thing.
she's just excited to be named president. I think it's obviously an honor for them. So
Yeah, and like SG has been known to do some weird stuff, and like things were up in the question, and she also messed up her line, so that really got her nervous as well. Like no way she like 95% sure. I'm pretty sure she was like 95% sure she was gonna get president, but like that like small percentage that you just might not get it for some reason, like was like clinging to her heart, and I feel
yeah,
pretty sure that's what got her. But once that was announced, it's like oh, kind of thing.
yeah. I mean, I would liken it to. It's probably a similar feeling to if you've like won a race or something and you're getting a medal. You kind of you've won, but you've still got that anticipation and excitement. Before they sort of give you your trophy or whatever. So I kind of got that kind of feeling. She knew she knew the moment was coming, but she's still excited and nervous about it, and it's still like oh my when it gets actually announced and sort of
Right.
becomes real and becomes official.
So yeah, that was obvious, but the other ones were a bit surprising.
We had Megu as talk chairman. That wasn't surprising at all, actually, in my opinion.
To me, it wasn't surprising either, but I heard from other people that they were actually really surprised. To me, that wasn't surprising, but I heard from other people that they're actually really surprised that Meg talk chairman, and I thought it was the obvious role that they were gonna give her.
Yeah,
I thought it was obvious.
Those two are the obvious roles, in my opinion. In my onion.
I don't think it was necessarily surprising that she got that position. Whether she's necessarily the best person for it is another question.
Oh yeah, that's a
it's
different question.
I don't think it's a surprise though.
Yeah, I totally agree
Well,
with you,
not to me,
Doug.
anyway.
Like, I didn't think it was a surprise, but yes, you can argue that Megu's not the best person, as even she said that she doesn't like talking, or it was either she said she didn't like talking or that she felt like she wasn't good at talking. One of those.
I think it could be one of those things where you choose someone who needs a bit of development in a certain area to try and help push them.
Oh
Because
yeah,
I think they do that. You know, they I'm used to do that. They did that with Yunano when they made her when they had her in Kobaibu,
yeah, and
and
I think
you
they
know
did even more with Shirai.
they commented on that when they commented on that when she graduated as well. Yunano, that specifically put her in those roles because he wanted to improve those skills because she was no good at them to begin with. So it'll be interesting to see how she gets on.
I personally think she's gonna do fine. Like it's gonna be more.
Yeah.
I think the okay. I think she might falter a little bit in the comedic section of the job. Probably, I think so. But when it comes to the really deep emotional speeches, I think she actually does a really good job because the ending speech she kind of gave, or like the speech she kind of gave when she got the role, was pretty good, in my opinion. It sounded really deep and to the heart.
Yeah.
So I
I'd
think
agree
she'll
with that.
excel in those talks.
Ivana, thoughts on Megu talk, Chairman?
I think she said she was fine with it, but we can, because that wasn't really much surprise. But the other two.
Yeah, well, one big surprise, and that we've got a brand new position.
What the
I
hell
was-
is a gambare, Chairman?
I was so
What
triggered
is that?
by this
What is that?
position.
I'm
Like,
assuming. I mean, I'm assuming it's similar to the spirit role that Hinata and
Hana got.
Hana have had in the
So, like,
past. I'm
the
assuming it's
extra
basically the
role?
same thing. It's just got a new name. So
Like
encourage people.
that's not my problem with it. Like I get it's the same role as they had before, but why that name? There could have been so many other names, like Genki or Kanji, or there could have been so many other,
Kanji?
like feeling.
I don't. I think you would use. Okay, you know what?
Okay, fine. I think. No. Okay, so I checked you. Austin gave a suggestion of Kimotsu. I don't think that's a good one either. I don't think that's a good. I don't think that's a
I'm gonna say
good.
bye to Missing Rio. Bye, Missing Rio.
Oh, I'm missing.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in. I don't know. I think
Anyways,
gambare is one of those things. I think it's one of those words that's all over the place in Japan. So I think I would assume that's the reason behind the choice. And obviously, I mean, they've used it for things before, like Logar. They had Gambare Corner and stuff like that. So I think it's just a continuation of that.
yeah, but one last thing. Sorry, I thought Austin was trying to think of another word, but he was actually trying to guess what I was trying to say because my word sounded wrong. But yeah, he didn't say that. He just kind of thinking of another word. Kokoro chairman, heart chairman. I don't know. Maybe.
Anyway, the last position
Yes, education chairman.
provided a very, very controversial discussion.
Yes. So for anyone who may or may not know, Maya was is elected the right word? Chosen to be education chairman this year, which seems to have caused some normal and heated debate in various places. What were the thoughts on that?
Okay, so there is some speculations because of a line said. First of all, it was really surprising to most of us that a fifth grader, or not fifth grader, sorry, second grader,
Wow.
even got a position this year, because usually second grader positions are only given when there's a shortage of seniors, which there wasn't this year. And so it was really surprising to almost all of us that, or I'm pretty sure like all of us actually, that she got a position in general. And then here came the debate of whether I think Maya deserved it, mine deserved it. And a certain line kind of sparked even more controversy as Kumamoto said, I had someone else in mind to give this to. but we decided to give it to you. And I have, in my mind, there's three things that come out of that. He was thinking of three people. He is either thinking of Megu, who is known for a smart person, so he could have gave, education chairman, smart person, could have been that. But in my opinion, education chairman is someone who is not so smart, who needs to educate both themselves and other people. You can kind of see that in 2015, where Oga got education chairman and not Shirai. Because if you take it from, you should give it to the smart person basis, then Shirai would have gotten 2015, but she didn't. So I don't think Megu makes sense. The other person that he could have been mentioning was Momoko, because Momoko is indeed not the smartest of the seniors there, and she could have also taken on that role equally as much as Maya could have, by also being not that educated and learning stuff so she can educate the new members as well. And then the last person, which everyone kind of assumed or kind of thought was Marin, which could have been, but it could have not been. You'll never know. I think.
Okay, in my opinion, this could go two ways for next Nendo. It either means one, they're prepping Maya for either her presidency or so that she can take on a better role next year. Even though they believe Maya is not qualified for education chairman, they probably have something else saved for Marin, because of course they would have considered Marin for something if they considered Maya for something.
Yeah.
So there's still like a little bit of hope for Marin presidency, but it could go both ways. But this is 2017. This is Aiko's year. Let's focus on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think we want to be wary about reading too much into what it means for next year. I think to me it sounds, or it comes across as this is one of those examples of them choosing someone who they're trying to improve, or they're trying to get this person to realize, we want more from you and we think you can do more. And so they're giving them a position to try and bring that out. So I think Maya, to me, is someone that has a lot of potential, but is perhaps one of those ones where, similar to the example given before with Olga, who's maybe been a bit more, up until now, it's just been a more of a fun kind of character, someone that's been a bit more relaxed, laid back, and I think they maybe want to try and bring her out her more responsible side, and so they've given her a position to do that. Because I think, if anything, with Maya and Momoko, if you were to pick out of the two positions they were given, I would perhaps argue that they would, based on their base skills, they would be better the other way around. But they've perhaps been given these positions these specific positions to, as I say, to help bring more out of them. I think Maya maybe needs a little bit more to try and give her a bit more seriousness or a bit more responsibility, so that she can be better. And I think that's maybe why they've given her that, whereas Marine, they maybe don't think needs as much of that as a push. She maybe, if anything, I think Marine maybe needs to come out of her shell a little bit more, which I don't think Maya has a problem with, and it might be easier for her to do that without the responsibility of having a council position.
Yeah. What Doug said.
Yeah. It's I agree with that. We shouldn't go that much into it right now. Just see how things play out, and we'll see like in about a Nendo's time. Okay, we'll see.
Yeah. The excitement of the year. Watch how it all unfolds.
Yeah, and after that, after all the chairman and transfer excitement, did one more song, talk about some merch, and that was basically the transfer and ceremony. It was good. I like that we got the transfer and ceremony again.
Yeah. We didn't get it last year, did we? No.
No, we skipped last year. 2015 we didn't have the audition video, but we got transference ceremony. Last year we got the audition video, but didn't have transference ceremony. But this year we got best of both worlds, transference ceremony and audition video, which is what we're gonna get into because they actually released one this time. And
Hurrah!
hurrah! It was really good.
Hurrah for things.
Hurrah for things, indeed. We might or might not have it up on the screen soon, maybe, not sure. If it does, enjoy. If it doesn't, oh, I'm getting a message that we are getting it on screen. So
I thought this was a really good audition video, this one. They seemed quite on point.
Yeah.
In comparison to some of the earlier ones. Again, the thing that stood out to me was they're quite in sync. Some of the other ones I've seen, they're a little bit less so. It's good.
Definitely. And usually the fun that comes with these audition videos is that you can kind of try to guess who the faces are by looking at them. But this time, you really kind of couldn't, because if you were keeping up with news, you would have realized, or you would have known that they actually got leaked somehow, and this was spread out throughout the entire news of SG World, Baby Metal. Oh, maybe not Baby Metal World, but SG World definitely. If you were on the Reddit, you were someone, you heard about it, you knew who the transfer is, you saw it, and it was really bad. It probably won't ever happen again. And it was just really bad to happen.
That person will be fired.
Yeah, that person will be fired. and they actually had released an apology, and they said they're really sorry that they did it. Hopefully they won't do it again. Some people kind of like the leaks, but hopefully they don't do it again, because I kind of like guessing. I kind of like waiting to see who gets it, but hopefully they just don't do it again. And there is some graduate attendances. We saw some pictures with Mariri, Hinano, Hinata, Reno, and then one more person who we couldn't really figure out.
People think it's Rauda, but there's no confirmation yet. Because I feel like Rauda would have posted on her Twitter if she went.
Yeah, maybe you guys can give us some of your thoughts in the chat right there. See who you think it was. And you small song coming up. Song for you. Get hyped for that. Not much really other information for now besides some merch detail. Get hyped. Get hyped.
And yeah, that's it for Sakura Gakuen. What about graduates? Let's blaze through this. Doug, go.
Well, Baby Metal, our big graduates. The couple of random things have obviously been on tour. There's been a lot of new footage and stuff like that with their stuff with the Chili Peppers. That's now done, which is sad. So hopefully we'll get more news about that shortly. But the big Baby Metal news is actually technically not Baby Metal news, in that the Kami band released an EP, or the Kari band as the EP's under. So if anyone, highly recommend you go and grab that. It's really interesting. It's got a mix of a lot of the skills that the band have. It's a little bit lighter than the Baby Metal stuff, but highly recommend giving it a listen. It's quite intricate and jazzy. Some of it's kind of a bit more chilled as well. Yeah, it's really cool to see them getting some. A lot of people have talked about them getting more recognition and things, and this is obviously something that they've been able to do as a result of being together as a group. So yeah, you can get that on all the major outlets, iTunes and Amazon, etc. So if you have some spare cash and some spare time, I highly recommend picking that up. It's a really good listen.
And as for other graduates, we have some news from the usual graduates as of recently. Ayaka has been showing up on a few more YouTube video things. They're not exactly YouTube videos, but you can find them on YouTube. She hosted the Abema TV show with another star who I don't recognize. Sorry if you recognize her, I don't recognize her. And it was just the show was basically them eating stuff and looking at videos and commenting about them. So if you want to give it a quick watch, You can go ahead and do that if you're interested in those kind of things. She also visited the Fendi Public Shop, which is a clothing fashion shop. It's a little video about that. It was Ayami's birthday recently. She had some tweets about that. Anything significant that you guys want to mention for Ayami's? I don't know if you guys read some of them.
Nothing specific.
Yeah,
Nothing
nothing
really.
specific besides, but the picture with the bottle, upside down bottle thing with the little red contraction thing was kind of interesting.
The
Because
drink
like,
now. Well, that's about it.
well, no, I just thought like the pouring mechanic was kind of interesting. But yeah, I also had a new lot commercial. Go check that out. And of course, we always have some Hinata news.
As for Hinata News, she's in a new show. I think it's called Shoujo Kageki Review Starlight. It's a new anime / musical project. She plays one of the characters. You can check out her Twitter for more of that. She wears like cosplay for her character. But yeah, recently she tweeted 2 things. So last night in Megu's diary, there's a cute sleeping picture of Yuzumi, and Hinata tweeted about it, saying that it kind of looks like her. So if you think it looks like her, leave us a comment. And lastly, she said just one tweet that stood out to me. Hinata's in university now, and she's taking English classes. And one of her teachers said long time ago in English, but she thought they said long tamago, which basically means long egg. So I thought that was really funny. And that's it from Hinata.
Some shoutouts for birthdays that recently passed. Ayami, 21. Nene, who turned 19. And also Mayune, who turned 19. Happy birthday, or happy late birthday, guys.
And yeah, so we'll answer your questions that you send in.
Kyle Farrell asks, what do you want to see this Nendo? Focus more on songs, or do you do some more experimentation, like the play and such?
For me,
That
I want
depends.
more
Does he?
songs.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does he mean new songs? Because if he means that, then definitely.
Yeah, I'm
New
pretty sure he
songs would
means
be
new
good.
songs. I'm gonna go the greedy answer. I want to see both.
Say
I think they can
both,
do both.
yeah.
I think they can easily do both. I'm really disappointed with last year that a lot of people, they didn't exactly say it themselves, but a lot of people were assuming that they didn't do new songs because they were busy with play. I think that's ridiculous. I think they can do both. I think they can experiment while doing new songs, and I want to see that. But if I had to choose one, just give us some new songs, man. Just give us some new songs.
To tie it in with an earlier question from Frosty Guitarist, he says, do you think it's in Amuse's best interest to offer streaming of shows? First of all, I would answer that question with yes. I think streaming is a great way to get your content out there, as well as offering it worldwide, although they do seem to not necessarily be doing that. I believe, and do correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the stream of the transfer ceremony was actually region locked, unless you knew ways around it. But to fit that question in, the answer to that question with the other one, one of the things I would like to see is something that's going to replace the void left by Low Girl being closed down. So I would like to see them doing something new or something similar on another platform, so that we can continue to get that type of thing.
I agree for the most part. Either a new streaming service, or go back to the old ways of, like, let's say 2013, where they just had a lot of TV appearances.
Sure.
They could go online live. Like that's a thing that exists.
Like most idols do. Most idols do actually go online live.
they're choosing to ignore Line Live right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, who knows what SG thinks? Who knows how their brain
I'm
Did
kind
you
of. I
see
mean,
the leaks? Did you guys see the transfer in leaks?
yes.
yes. They were kind of put in my
They were
face.
kind of shoved into my face.
I'll be honest. I probably would have looked at them had that not happened. To be fair, but yeah, I'm kind of in agreement with just thinking about what we were saying about streaming and stuff. There, I mean, I'm with Frankie on the fact that I think they can do more, and I see no reason why they can't come up with a new show. It's ridiculously easy. I mean, you've got we put on a monthly show for 2 hours, and we are neither a multinational corporation nor even in the same room. So I'm sure they can manage to put on a weekly podcast or their own show or appear on some other things. So to not do anything, I feel would be lazy.
Yeah, and then as some people mentioned in the chat, there are multiple TV services, or like not TV services, streaming services that they can sign a contract with, and it's just if they want to do it or not.
Yeah. But it's the fact that they wouldn't even need contracts or anything. They can sign up to various services if they want, but there's also 101 ways they could do it on their own without needing to do anything other than have a camera and the internet, which I'm fairly sure Amuse would have at this stage.
Okay, 2 more questions. What should we name the Nachibot on Discord? So if you're not in the Discord chat from Reddit, there's a lot of bots in the Discord chat. One of them is called the Nachibot, and they're trying to rename it. So what do you think we should rename it?
Nachibot.
No idea. Sorry, I'm not creative to answer your question.
Someone's asked what we think will happen to Sleep Piece.
It'll stay, and we'll get a new member.
Yeah.
Probably very little, because that tends to what happened to all of the side projects. Nothing much changes.
Yeah, I think that's all the time we have for questions today. We're actually going to move on to our last segment of the show, which is our game time. And you guys might be familiar with this type of game. It's very similar to a type of game that certain YouTubers have been doing, which that we're gonna play some Ashy songs, and we're gonna play them in, like 1 second, 2 seconds, 5 seconds, and we're gonna see which person out of the 3 of us can guess those songs, and see who gets the most points guessing those songs. So we'll play some of the songs for like maybe a second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. I'm not sure exactly what the format is because our editor will be doing that, and we'll stop at every few plays and see if we can answer. If we can't, we'll go all the way to like 15 seconds or maybe even the whole song. And then we'll see if we can guess them. See who's the idiot who doesn't know songs, and we'll see who's the genius who remembers every song opening. So you guys can try to play with us in the game too. Oh, in the chat. Sorry, not the game. Chat. And we'll see how it goes.
Just give us okay, we can start. Never mind.
And now we'll just give some time for editor to set things up.
There should be.
That's not fair.
Yeah.
And then we'll just give some time for Eder to So this is kind of a weird setup where we're essentially listening to stream, and I didn't get that as quick as we wanted. So we're going to see if we're doing this a different way. So if you guys have more questions,
so
I can answer them right now.
Yeah.
I still can't pronounce some of those Japanese titles. Huh? It's fine. It's a different language. We don't expect you to.
You don't have to. It's okay.
Yeah. I guess we can talk a little bit about what we think the clubs are going to, what direction the clubs are going to.
Someone's gonna join Logica, and it's gonna be Miku.
No.
Why Miku?
Just cause.
Okay. I think that the answer is pretty obvious. They're most likely going to continue Sleep Peace and Logica, and they're finally going to put Yuzumi in the club, and they also put Momo in the club. Because there's only 2 spots, and there's only 2 veteran members. Yes, if you've been in 1 year in SU, you're a veteran member. There's only 2 veteran members that don't have a club, and they'll mostly be put in those clubs.
Can I talk about like my predictions that I made on Twitter? If anyone saw that.
Okay, talk about them.
So on Twitter, I made like a prediction thread, and some people replied to it, which is cool. But basically, I just made a list of things that I thought was going to happen this year. So number 1 was the first song will be similar to Hana Hana or Mathematica.
Oh, you're talking about set list prediction.
No,
Not set list. Like song prediction.
Yeah. So like just this year in general. So yeah.
Well, it's obvious, right? Because you get the learning song.
No, not generally learning, but similar in sound.
Oh, wait, you're talking about similar. Okay.
Okay. Number 2 was Aiko would get most of the lines, of course, but Maya and Marin will surprisingly get more lines than Momoko and Miku.
I think Momoko's gonna get a good amount of lines. I think Momoko's. I can see Mari and Maya getting more lines than Megu, but it's like an ID and Sue situation. But I don't think she's getting more lines than, or they're getting more lines than Momoko.
Okay. Miki will surprise everyone with her goofy side, and Miku will surprise everyone with her smart side. And now after reading their profiles, I'm gonna have to switch this around.
Wait, what'd you say just now? Well, anyway, if you're not gonna talk, I'm gonna go on about the clubs. If they weren't gonna take the safe route and just stick with Sleep Peace and Logica, I think they can go interesting and actually maybe bring back an old club like Twinkle Stars or or maybe not Scoopers, because I think that'd be kind of weird having a 2-person group. So I don't think it'd be Scoopers or the the wrestling club, but I think it'd be more of maybe Pastel Wind or Twinkle Stars, and I think that would open up a lot more possibilities because there's more members in Pastel Wind / Twinkle Stars. Pastel Wind, you can include 1 extra member, which you could include one of the new students in, and that'd be really interesting to see. Or you can move some people around, and we'll see how that'd be even more interesting. You move people around, or they could make it even more interesting with Twinkle Stars, because Twinkle Stars, you can either have 5 members like they did in 2014, or 7 members like they did 2010/2011. So possibilities are endless if they actually decide to drop a club, bring back one of their old ones, or even start a new one with more members. And if they were to drop one, I feel like the club they would drop would actually be Logica, because I feel like Sleepies is more of a staple than Logica is.
Yeah, they've got more songs, more things to do, I think. Plus, I think the thing is, because they've made their whole. It was something I always thought, actually, because they have their whole the education songs, so they do each of those songs. That could have been a thing they could have given to Logica if they'd wanted it to be a bigger brand or a bigger part of the thing. That Logica could have done songs about, learning stuff, and I think that they kind of, if they continue to do their education songs, then Logic is almost a duplication then. So it would make sense for them to drop that one, but they seem to, for whatever reason, they seem to quite like it because it's obviously carried on. But
Yeah, like I'm like people have even discussed this at one point in the subreddit where they were trying to push Logica at one point, and it just didn't work out. But it has done well as a staple club, so that's why they'll most likely keep it. But like we're talking about ifs, and if they decide to bring a new club, Logica would most likely, in my opinion, be the one dropped, just because I don't think it's as stable as Sleepies.
yeah,
See, someone said, what do you all feel about the price of RTG 2016? Oh, yeah. So, you guys didn't know the Blu-ray. I think it's just the Blu-ray. I think it's just the Blu-ray for RTG is 10,000 yen. 10,000 yen, which is roughly, it's not $100 US. It's less than
That's like 100. That's more than 100 Australian dollars.
well, no one cares about Australia much.
burn. Oh,
But it's like $88 and it's like 88 American dollars, which is a lot. It's a lot
for
for
those who are not American, it's about £68.50.
okay, fine. For those let's just convert it for everybody. For people in Europe, it's 80 euros, 80 or 81 euros. Okay. And if you're from any other country, we're not doing conversions, so check it out for yourself. It's a lot for SG merch, more than we've come to expect. It in comparison, it's more like the price of a BM merch. And I don't know, do you guys think it's worth it? Like it comes with a documentary, but it's like what, $20 more than usual, right? Isn't it like $20 more than usual? I think I think it'd be kind of worth if the documentary was really, really, really good, because we did get a documentary with the album, the album for the back a behind the scenes of the festival, which was good. It was good, but a lot of it was just song playing, and I wish there was more talking. So if they do a documentary more along the lines of, I don't think it will be I don't think they would ever include a documentary that's as long as the Smile documentary. But if they did a longer documentary, like let's say like an hour, maybe hour 30 minutes, and it was a lot of talking and a lot of the emotions going on throughout the year, not just for like maybe RTG, but throughout the year, and show some behind the scenes, maybe some of the concerts that we couldn't see that were like live audience exclusive. I think that'd be worth the 10,000 yen. But if it's like if it's a documentary similar to the festival one, I don't think it would be worth. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'd agree with that, especially if you're purchasing it from abroad and you have shipping and everything else on top of that. I mean, that's That's one of the main reasons I own very little merch. Is I'm just not willing to pay for the ridiculous amounts of money that it costs to have things sent over.
Oh yeah. Plus for us
so-
international Fukei, we have shipping to pay too, so it's gonna be even more.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty high price. Never mind adding the shipping on top. And as I say, I don't have most of their normal type of priced stuff because I refuse to pay the shipping. Because for half of the things, you pay more for the shipping than you do for the item. So yeah, it's a bit much unless they're going to add, more into it.
Yeah.
Shipping it's bad, especially if you're going to use something like Tenso. And you want it faster. That's even harder and more expensive.
Yeah. So final say about the price. We generally don't like it. We don't like it.
Overarching thoughts: it is bad.
Yeah.
But I suppose it'll be interesting to see then. In one way, you kind of don't want them to sell too many so that they down again. But then on the other hand, you don't want that to happen because then they might just go, "Oh, well, we'll just not do stuff."
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a very conflicting feeling, but hopefully
they'll still get sales in Japan anyway.
Yeah. Hopefully it goes well. Hopefully we just get better results. Let's just say hopefully we'll get better results.
So anyway, can I continue on with my thread? I wasn't done.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay, so if you want to throw in your comments, feel free. Because I know a lot of people won't agree with it. I kind of don't agree with some of them, but I thought it would happen. Anyway, number 4, the album finally won't include remakes except for one song, and that one song might be Yume ni Nikatte.
Really? You think they're gonna do new Kobaibu song?
Oh, maybe.
I would just.
Just any one song.
Oh, okay.
They'll presumably still have a new Mezase as well.
Oh, well,
yeah,
Mezase is a given, but that would be like new, in my opinion. Okay, number 5.
What's the rest?
The second song for the year will have the same Gambare vibe, but the choreography won't be as intense.
So energetic song, but not as intense
But like,
choreography.
yeah.
Okay.
On that note of intense choreography, something I've noticed it in one of the other performances, and I noticed it again in the transfer ceremony, that Sugu, but Soyo especially, like how much do they sweat when they are on stage? They look like they are absolutely melting.
You could see it on like their forehead.
Yeah, that's it exactly. It's the fringes. The fringes like are totally stuck to them. But Soyo is, in addition to that, she goes really pink as well. It's always really kind of amusing because a lot of the other ones don't look like, you can obviously tell that they're sweating a little bit and that they're tired. But those two, and Soyo in particular, just looks wiped out every time.
Yeah, so like of course they have to think about like tiredness when they do these choreography kind of things. But you never know from SG. So what's the rest of your prediction?
Okay, number 6. A new type of DVD this year, either from the festival or Anniversary Live.
Really? Really?
I don't know. And anything can happen in 2017. Especially with Aiko under president.
I was gonna say it's the year of Aiko.
Aiko
did promise the best SG ever. That was one of her quotes.
It didn't happen with Shirai, and Shirai made a lot of things happen. Maybe she could carry on the spirit of Shirai.
But maybe she'll do what Shirai didn't and bring us another DVD this year, either from the festival or Anniversary Live.
Ha! Okay.
Okay, number 7. The live stream that will replace Slow Girl will either be difficult to access for foreigners or be paid content.
Oh, yeah.
Can see that happening.
That's I feel like that's pretty obvious.
So that's a mutual agreement then?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think the paid content one is probably the most likely. I can see them, if they are going to set something up themselves, then as companies tend to be, they'll be like, oh, well, we should be remunerated. So they'll do. Hopefully, though, it will be something like, Night of Speaker, and it's it's a pretty cheap and easy thing, but we shall see. But I can definitely see it becoming a paid thing.
Yeah. Okay, number 8. The class test prank will be a lot different to recent years, and it won't be something we're expecting. So it's not going to be like, oh, you're actually doing this, or you're doing this schedule, but it's actually a prank. No, I feel like it's going to be different.
Well, he's got to step his game up this year because he did quite an elaborate one for 2016. So
Yeah, they've been basically doing, well, in my opinion, they've been basically doing the same kind of. They kind of repeated 2015 this
Yeah,
year,
they're gonna be expecting it. That's why.
but kind
So
of
that's
just
why
made
they're
it
gonna change
longer.
it.
Yes, I agree. They probably would have to change it because they're even last year they're kind of expecting something.
Yeah, this is their 8th test. They're gonna have to step up their game. They're always like rescheduling stuff. So I feel like this is the year. Okay, number 9. Class test ranks will have Megu and Momoe competing for first, Aiko for second, and Momoko will rank up to at least 7.
That's not a bold prediction. I mean, I go second might be a little bold, but I can see it. I don't think it's that bold.
What do you think, Doug?
Well, yeah, I think Aiko can definitely be in and about the top end. I think that's easy enough. It's whether or not Momoko can make that kind of a jump, however, is another matter.
That's 5 ranks up. Do you think she can do that?
Well, I'm sure.
Reno did it.
They're super ladies, so they can do whatever they put their minds to. But it'll be interesting. We've got 2 new unknown quantities now as well, adding into the mix. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
If Reno can do it, if Marina can do it.
Okay.
True.
Yeah. Number 11. Miki is gonna write more diaries than Miku.
I can see that happening.
I don't have an opinion. I don't have a comment on it. But I don't think it's like there's no way to tell right now.
Yeah, there's no way to tell. Cool. That's why it's a prediction.
I know, but I'm just but where are these predictions coming from though? Like, just like
from anything, really.
From her mind.
From my mind.
Oh yeah, but like usually when you
from her magical glass ball of power.
You have to base it like even small.
I'm not basing it on anything. I'm just I just wrote it. Okay.
Okay.
Quickly going back to your one a second ago, do you think that Aiko will get a higher score than Sarah in
terms of position or actual score?
Both. Let's go with actual score. Positions are score, so that's not as important because obviously Sarah.
What did Sarah get?
She was.
Spoiler alert.
12. It's in the script here. Let me.
Scores are really kind of
13.
Unfair.
She got 13.
And
scores are kind of really unfair sometimes.
I feel like Aiko can overtake the 13.
It's kind of unfair sometimes because like I've noticed that the tests have generally been getting easier, or at least it seems like it's getting easier. But I'm just gonna go with she's not gonna get past 13.
I should rephrase the question actually. The question really is, well, do you think Aiko can become can beat Sarah and be the most successful president in mental test?
She's gonna get 14. She's gonna get 14.
She could, but I don't think she is.
She got 12.5 last year. She's gonna get 14 this year.
Gonna make that step up. There's such a huge gap between the first half and second half.
Moa generally did well, but she did bad on her presidency year.
Yes, I will
Yeah, but
always
that's
remember.
like an opposite. So Moa usually did well, right? In like the years leading up to her presidency, and then as soon as she became president, it just went 7th, and then the
But
other
Aiko
presidents,
did well
the
this
other
last year.
presidents who did not do as well rose up in their final year. Except
Yeah, but Aiko rose up in her second last.
yeah, so Aiko's just getting better and better.
But wouldn't you say? Yeah, they can do better, but they can't. You know, it's not to say that they will do really, really good. Like I said that I think Aiko can do it because I do think she's gonna do pretty good, but that's not to say that she will like do amazing.
Okay, well, my prediction is written in text. I
Okay.
cannot change it.
Good.
Another one is Martin will show more English phrases this year, and will write
Ha
a diary on entry on English language in the later part of this year.
ha ha ha.
Say what you want, Frankie.
I think Frankie may be skeptical. I would love to see that. That'd be
Right.
great.
Someone write me
But
down.
if she does do it, you owe me an apology.
Sure.
Anyway,
Someone write it down.
You owe Martin.
I don't think she's gonna do that.
If she does it, you should value the DVD.
If she doesn't do it this year, then I'll apologize on behalf of Martin.
I don't care about your apology.
Okay. Well, I do. So if
Rusty
Martin does it,
Guitarist
you
thinks
best
that Aiko's going to be
apologize to
middle of the
Martin.
pack.
Anyway, number 12 is Kano and Martin are going to go taller than Aiko
It could happen. Yeah.
in this year.
Yeah.
Mm.
Sure.
And the last one is we'll get just a little bit more variety and talk show appearances than last year.
Let's hope so.
Maybe by like 1 or 2 shows.
With the loss of a stream, it is highly possible, but with knowing or knowing SG, who knows? So knowing who knows? Kind of contradicting, but
The thing is,
yeah.
if ultimately, obviously, Muse being a business, if they want the band to continue to be a success, they're going to have to advertise somehow. So if they don't have a stream, then they have to have them on shows, surely, in order to promote the fact that they've got stuff happening. If they've got songs out or albums out or videos or whatever it might be, because that was what they did on Low Girl. Whenever something came out, they would promote it. So if they're not going to do that, they have to do it somewhere else. Otherwise, they're going to see a decline in sales and performance. So I can't see how they can't have more TV shows if they're not going to have a new stream, unless they've just kind of went, meh, whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't make business sense to not have something.
It does. But Amuse things.
Anyway, is that all you? That's all I have for predictions.
That's all. Okay.
Do you have any predictions, Frankie?
No.
Why does it seem like you're hiding a prediction?
I feel like you have something, Frankie.
Yeah, there's definitely something there.
Spit it out, and then we can.
Sure, man. I predict that I will still like Miki more than Miki by the end of the year. There you go.
That's it. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of other people who like Miki, and to make up for that, so.
I'm sure I'll maybe throw out some more predictions as the year goes by, but for now I'll keep to myself.
Safe.
Play it safe.
Any predictions for you, Doug?
Let me see. Well, yeah, I think that they will come up with a new show of some description. What where that
Like
will be home.
stream-wise, or
Yeah, they'll come up with their own version of Low Girl at some point. I think, 'cause to me, it unless, as I say, they're willing to take a bit of a hit, then it just to me seems daft and stupid to not. So I think that they will come up with something. Like Ivana said, I think that might end up being a pay service of some description, and we'll see how that goes. Someone said in the chat, sorry, it's a wee bit further back now, so I'm not sure who it was that said it, but someone said that sometimes if you set things like that, they're not always successful. But I would perhaps disagree just on the fact that because they've got such a fan basis already. And if it looks like it's going to be something similar to Local, I think a lot of people would get on board, even if it had a paywall, assuming it wasn't ridiculously priced. So I don't think that'd be too big a problem. So I think that they'll have something. So that would be one prediction. I'm going to predict that we'll get Yuzu in Logica and Momoe and Sleepy's to fill the spaces. I think that will happen. To me, they fit those way around. I think that would suit the best. I can see Yuzu in the glasses, and Momoe, I think, would take her Burikil to new levels in the Sleepy's outfits as well. So I'll go with that. And I think that's about it. I have a couple of things I'd like to see. Hopefully, I've said already. Hopefully, new music. Would quite like that. I'd quite like a new video some soonish. That'd be nice. That'd be pretty good. But also maybe, if possible, some more frequent live stuff as well. I think that'd be good. But I don't think that'll happen. I would like that to happen, but I don't think it will, because I don't know if they've got the time to practice and things like that. So we shall see. But yeah, so that would be my things.
Okay, so I think that wraps it up for today. Sorry there's no game.
yeah, sorry, that's more of a talky episode. But maybe some of you guys like that. Let us know.
I don't know. But yeah. Thanks for joining us today. Happy Mother's Day. Make sure you
Oh yeah,
your mom,
maybe,
grandma.
and maybe some of your mothers. Maybe.
Maybe some of your mothers. Who knows? Maybe you're the mother of your pet. I don't know. But yeah. Happy Mother's Day. Look out for the replay, which will be up probably sometime next week or 2 weeks from now. Next episode will be in June, as you would expect it to be. Maybe we'll have a game that time as well. Maybe different hosts. Who knows? We'll try and surprise you. But yeah, thanks for watching, and hope you have the rest of your day. Have a good one.
Yeah, see you guys.
Yep.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. See you later.